Hello, this is Libra Ascendant in Navamsa. So if you're Libra Ascendant in Navamsa, then this is applicable to you. So as you know, Navamsa is your D9 chart, which is kind of like working the whole time alongside your natal chart, your D1, but obviously it kicks in more as you get older. You kind of like take on the traits in there as you get older, and this is how you are in relationships and in marriage as well. How, but obviously it's quite nice with astrology. You can actually learn a little bit about it, and things that you want to adjust, you can do that. So a Libra Ascendant. So Libra Ascendant, generally speaking, will be somebody who doesn't want to rock the boat, doesn't want to upset anyone, kind of things like that. But they naturally do that with their speech. So they want to be diplomatic, but there is just something because so Venus ruling this, and anyway, I'll come to that. So these individuals are just lovely because they want to please everybody. They want everybody to gather together. They're very sociable. And their second house is ruled by Mars, a Scorpio. So there could be, once they're married, or even just normally, there could be some family secrets that people don't necessarily know about it, that they just keep under wraps. And they're also very private, generally speaking. So what they actually expose to the world is quite different to who they really are. And then, and also they are very, very secretive about the money they hold in the bank, fixed assets, liquid assets, investments, things like that. They don't really discuss that kind of thing with other people easily. And then the third and sixth house is ruled by Jupiter. So third house of Sagittarius and the sixth house of Pisces. So in their marriage, having a third house which is ruled by a benefic planet, it kind of doesn't give it the kind of like the will to sort of like fight for the marriage, if you like. So they have to learn to actually put up some sort of effort into the marriage, to be a bit more willful, to just kind of like discuss things, stuff like that. So the effort that they put in to their marriage will really pay dividend, and that's for sure. So I would really urge Libra Ascendants to just like, I think also you've got to understand that like Sagittarius is that sign that's like very pointed at the goal. So they're kind of like very focused on what they want to say. They don't necessarily listen. So it's very important for them to actually listen to the partner and actually together come to some form of agreement and understand each other's views. That's very, very important. And then their fourth house, how their home is and everything, is Capricorn. So they will have this very organized home life. It will be run like a corporate office. So it will just literally, everything will be organized, files will be labeled properly, and everything will have a place. They are not the sort of people who are going to sort of they might have a dumping ground, a room that they just chuck things, or the garage and shut the door. But generally speaking, the house will have certain order about it. It'll be very kind of like, it'll be organised, everything will be quite, it could even be quite minimalistic. However, they will have some pieces of antique in there. And so that kind of a place, Then their fifth house is Aquarius. So they want their children to have like be eco-friendly. They kind of put they want educate their children about humanitarian things, about eco-friendly stuff, about the environment, about the carbon footprint, that kind of things. And they will probably also want their children to be part of different groups as well. So they might go to summer camps. They might be part of like an orchestra. They might that kind of thing. You know, they are very forward thinking in their way of how they bring their children up, and their children will be probably will have the latest gadgets as well, latest sort of like iPhone or device or whatever. So yeah, very much on it. Then, as we said, you know, their sixth house. So they could also be a little bit kind of like when it comes to diseases and deaths, and they might be a little bit like not necessarily coping very well with the with, if you like, with the daily routines and everything, although they're kind of, Venus is also exalted there. So but also this is like they need to keep an eye on their sort of expenses and things as well, so they don't get into any kind of debts or anything like that. But also, you know, I feel as though if they started like a sort of exercise routine, they could be really, really going for it and then not going for it. Or they'd be really good at eating and then they won't be so good at eating. You know, that kind of thing, because it's an emotional dual sign. So it's either really, really good or really, really not so good. So yeah, that could be, you know, the situation going on with that as well. But when they do it, they literally, if they do like sports and everything else, because Venus is exalted there, and it just means that muscularly they will actually they would their body would recover really well. So I would urge them to do that, because it's a good thing having those kind of healthy, nutritious, very sort of active lifestyle would suit them, and swimming will be great for them as well. Then their partners, obviously, they look for a partner who is independent, adventurous. They want somebody who comes to them and says, do you want to go out? You know, they don't want to play any games, kind of, you know, very upfront kind of person. And it will be, you know, they're interested in that kind of magnetic, yes, it's sexy and attraction, that kind of chemistry thing will be very, very important to them. And but also it will be a relationship of Mars and Venus, so there could be like fireworks going for the good and fireworks going, you know, arguing as well. And then their eighth house is also ruled by Venus, so their in-laws will be really sweet. They will be very traditional family. They will have fantastic values, family values. They probably are quite well-to-do, and they might come from agriculture background or food industry, travel industry, beauty industry, those kind of things. You know, they could have a spa or something, but they could be really sort of well-to-do family. And very loving the way they are. You know, you will enjoy yourself. You will enjoy spending time with them. They're very nice. And then they also kind of pretty open-minded about religion as well, because they just they want to get information and find out more about, you know, this and that. You know, why is this like that? And generally speaking as well, they could do a lot of trips, you know, and do a lot of learning. These people love to learn. The more the merrier, literally, and they like to learn new skills all the time. I find that Libra ascendants, particularly in D9, they could be very famous. Actually, what happens is the moment they get married and they're in a stable relationship, their status goes up and they become quite famous at work. So yeah, these people, and they could also travel quite a lot with their job as well and get like positions abroad as well. Yeah, so it does them good, give them that fame really, and it makes them happy as well, because obviously anything that Cancer does, Cancer is happiness to all of us, whatever things to do with Cancer. And their social circle, once they're married, is very well-to-do people. I mean, very well-to-do people. They'll be authoritative, they will be leaders, bosses, movers and shakers of this world, you know, people of authority and influence. These are the people they like to socialize with. And then when it comes to kind of spending any money, they're very frugal, because Virgo is their 12th house. As a couple, they kind of like to see exactly what they're spending their money on, where is that going, and but they will also be charitable, and they will also love traveling abroad together and seeing the world and getting some culture into them as well. So that will be very important to them as well. So this is so just really working on the kind of you know, intelligently, you know, because obviously you want to sort of intelligent with all the ascendants, really it's all about putting effort in and intelligently making decisions for romance, going out, going to the cinema, going for meals, going for walks, chatting and getting all that things you know, discussed, so it doesn't stay and then comes out in a big boom, you know. Anyway, see you on the next video. Thank you.